Greetings. I'm back for the next Halloween episode. This time I will be doing, for its 40th anniversary, Garfield's Halloween Adventure. I love that special. That is my favorite Garfield special. We had it recorded, but we had the 86 version airing with the 86 commercials. We didn't get the original airing. I didn't know that for many, many years. I always thought it was the 85 one until I found it on YouTube with the commercial breaks. And, oh man, I was so grateful someone posted that up because I really did miss the fact that we got rid of all our VHSs, which is something I regret doing because they had so many memories with them. Excuse me. But I got it back thanks to the YouTube, and so I got to relive those memories. 40 years ago today. But man, I cannot believe it's been that long. Well, Garfield was introduced to me with Garfield in the Rough, which came out the year before in '84. Then my brother started showing me the Garfield comic strips. The first one he got was Garfield Swallows His Pride, followed by Garfield Worldwide. And then that's when I finally got really going with this character. I saw the other specials like Garfield in Paradise, but I missed Garfield Goes Hollywood. I did see Garfield Christmas. We did get that recorded, but we only got to the part where Garfield ran into that water pump, and through the rest of the episode, we missed the beginning, so we missed a big chunk of it. We did get Garfield's 9 Lives. We did get Sam Spade, but I missed Feline Fantasy. I didn't finally see that till CBS was rerunning it on Saturday morning. I think it was like 94. But when it comes to Garfield Gets Alive, I didn't finally see that till I bought the DVD with that had that on there. The same thing with Garfield Goes Hollywood. That actually was the final one that I saw completely. Well, that I hadn't seen yet. So yeah, I kind of went and mixed the wrong order. I don't think I saw Here Comes Garfield until like the late 80s when that was the first one. Yeah, but Garfield in the Rough was the first one I saw. But Garfield's Halloween Adventure is my favorite. And when it comes to the Garfield movies, I don't mind the Bill Murray films. I did not like the direct-to-video ones. I still haven't seen Pat Force, and no, I did not care for the Garfield movie. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, I'm going to be talking about Garfield's Halloween Adventure, my favorite special. So, let's go into the creepy voice for it. It opens up in Garfield's neighborhood. Just like the other specials do. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. We then go inside the window, and then we see the TV is still on. Garfield fell asleep once again watching TV. The Binky the Clown show starts up, and he says his signature line, "Hey, Chaz!" Garfield jumps up, going, "Whoa! Get your lazy bottoms out of bed, you jumping jacks with Binky the Clown!" Then he starts exercising, and then Garfield exercises too. And he's like, "What am I doing?" He tells Binky he hates him, and Binky can actually hear him. It's like he's got the house wired. And well, Garfield's looking for the remote to turn the TV off, and Binky tells him they can go out and get a lot of candy. So when Garfield turns the TV back on after hearing that, he has to choose the traditional channel swap until he finds the right one. And then he finds Binky. And he learns that Halloween is today, which apparently flew under Garfield's radar. They repeated this with the Thanksgiving special. And Garfield does his little signature dance for the opening song. And then he goes back. He's grateful. You just get candy, and that's it. And then we get it to where he wakes up again. This time he's all thrilled that's Halloween, and he keeps going candy, 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 candy. So Garfield decides to go get up, and then get a cowboy. He's got to get a costume, a sack, and the whole of candy, 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 candy. And then but first he's got to get up. He gets his blanket, starts slithering around, and then he moves to John, who's carving a pumpkin. And then Garfield sneaks up, and even though John turns and looks at him, he still gets scared when Garfield jumps up and says, in his mind, "Boo." excuse me, that spooks John so much that he throws the pumpkin up in the air and it lands on his head. Then Garfield, they do a joke where John says, "You're probably wondering where I'm going with this pumpkin on my head." Garfield's like, "Whoa, you got a pumpkin on your head? I didn't notice." That old joke. Well, Garfield tries to eat the pumpkin seeds, or the innards, but he doesn't like them. John offers him some breakfast, and Garfield leaves, wanting to save room for the candy, but he ends up taking the breakfast in sections before he finally takes the whole tray. Well, when John pulled the pumpkin off his head, it landed on Odie. So now Garfield's gonna try and sneak up and scare him, and he is successful. Except, since Odie's wearing the pumpkin, he also scares Garfield, which angers Garfield. So Garfield basically tells him it's not nice to scare people, you know. And after that, he starts breaking the fourth wall by telling people how dumb and ugly Odie is. But then he realizes if he takes Odie out with him, he can get 2 sacks of candy instead of 1. Now, fortunately for him, Odie has never heard of Halloween. I guess Odie just kept missing it. I don't know. Well, Garfield tells him that that's a night when dogs go out and help cats get candy, which confuses Odie, but he tells Odie if he does a good job, he gets a very piece of candy of his very own, so that is all that is needed to get Odie interested in going out with Garfield for trick-or-treating. They go to the attic, but then when they open the door, it's dark and creepy. But as soon as they turn the light on, it basically it ends the horror theme. Garfield opens up a box, starts throwing stuff out, and when he turns around, all the stuff they've thrown out, Odie's wearing it. Odie shakes it off, and then they go to this chest, and Garfield finally says, "The mother lode, with these costumes, we give anything we want." We get treated to that good song, but why be? And Garfield goes from a king or a slave, a vampire, a black cat, a hobo, an alien, and an astronaut, a hobo, an alien, an astronaut. I don't remember, okay, but an alien creature going out in the town. After he finishes the song, he finally decides to be pirates. He'll be a pirate with Captain Orangebeard, and Odie is Odie the stupid. Odie's got 4 peg legs on. You have too many pegs. He starts whacking them all off his feet. Garfield's only wearing 1. John is eating lasagna when this has happened. Oh, you gotta have a lasagna in a Garfield special. I don't think that lasagna was in all of them, though. How many was it? Was this the only one? Were there others? I can't remember. Well, anyway, John gives them a couple of sacks. They go out to go trick or treating, and oh, good. We get that really good short pirate song by Garfield, 60 Minute Lost at Sea. It's short, it's simple, it's fun. And then Odie starts getting scared when he sees the kids in costume. He thinks they're real monsters, but Garfield lets him know there's nothing to worry about. When he takes the mask of a kid, pulls it, and just lets it go, making the kid go, "Ow!" And his mask actually moves with his mouth. That's when we get another song. This is actually the 3rd and final song in the special, and that is "I'm No Scaredy Cat." Garfield's singing that, and then he walks up to a ghost. He lifts it up, sees 2 big monstrous feet, and he and Odie scream out, circle around the ghost, and then run off. Next is another kid. They think he's a kid wearing a mask. When he pulls the mask off, the character's face is also the mask. He just lets go and says, "Oh," they run around screaming. And this one waits and does like a Scooby-Doo grab. Whenever they leave, that's when he finally grabs at them. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. The 3rd one is another ghost, but this time there's nothing underneath it, so they scream out and run off. Then they reach their first house, open to this cute, lovable woman who basically believes who says how cute they are, and gives them a single piece of candy, gives them a piece of candy each, and with the cute, adorable music playing, Garfield knows he frowned at her givings, and he pulls out that little wooden sword and threatens her living room drapes if she doesn't give them more. She does, and then he's like 1,000 blessings. And for the record, this is what introduced me to hearing a character say "give me" when they just want something and don't in an impolite way. Well, they go and have a successful time going to other houses, getting lots of candy. Garfield even opens his mouth up and eats some of it, and I don't know if the plastic wrapping is still on it. Well, after that, they head to the river. Okay, they head to the river. Garfield takes the peg leg off and throws it in the river. I think that belonged to John. I'm pretty sure he would want it back. But Garfield doesn't care. He decides it's best to go across the river, because he sees other houses where he can get more candy. He and Odie get in a rowboat, head down river, and Garfield says, "We're caught in the current. Put out the oars." So Odie agrees and throws the oars overboard. And Garfield's like, "I'll make him walk the plank if I had one." He starts acting all tough, but it ends with him going, "I want my mommy." Well, after that, they go down. Garfield's now regretting being this pirate. He's in depression until they finally see land. They go there. They, see that there's a light on, so they go inside after Garfield fails to kick open the door, and after that he just opens it up, letting you know it wasn't even locked. He does say his signature line, "Nice touch after a bolt of lightning strikes." Yeah, Storm just magically comes out of nowhere at this part. They see this old man sitting by the fireplace when they go and warm up by it. They both scream in terror, run around in circles, and he's like, "Shut up, you two!" That's enough to stop an old man's ticker. Now they're hugging each other, shivering in fear. And that's when the old man tells them that they picked a bad night to come here. This could be the worst night of their lives. And Garfield's like, "Okay, that made my mind. Let's go." And he like, "Stay." He tells them the story about a ruthless band of pirates who held up here. They looted many ships, and they were pursued by government troops. So they buried the treasure on that island in that house. And they wrote a contract written in blood that they would return in 100 years, even if it meant returning from the grave. Well, I think it wouldn't. They would be returning from the grave 100 years. They all look middle-aged in the flashback, so unless they were old, even older geezers, oh god, that'd be hilarious. Maybe like a parody of this special. Well, the old man reveals that he was their 10-year-old cabin boy, so he's 110. And whenever Garfield and Odie decide to leave, the old man's no longer sitting in the chair, and he's already in their rowboat with a stick getting away. Man, he moves pretty fast for a 110-year-old man. But Garfield's horrified that the boat's gone and the candy was on board. The candy was on board. Oh no, the candy's gone. But then the clock strikes midnight. Lightning striking. Garfield and Odie are trying to stop the clock because they actually believe if they do that, it won't be midnight or something. I don't know. And then Garfield's like, "It's midnight." And then he starts dismissing what the old man told him until a bolt of lightning strikes. They go outside and see this ghost ship coming towards the island. They then see a glowing puddle sliding across the river. 3 ghosts come out of it. 3 skeletal pirate ghosts come out of it. Garfield and Odie shriek out when they see them. They run inside. They find a hiding spot. First, Odie just hides his head in a flower pot, and Garfield's like, "Not there, dummy!" They then hide in a little cabinet. They pull the doors closed, and they just wait. The pirates come in, they circle around, and then they go underneath the floor and pull out the treasure chest. The floor restores, and it opens up. Unfortunately, Odie's got a sneeze. I want to say, excuse me. So, whenever he sneezes, the doors open up, and the ghosts turn on them, and Garfield and Odie are just looking at them with those innocent smiles, and they just close the doors, and Garfield goes, "Maybe they didn't see us." And then one of the ghosts just shoots right in. The music sounds like it's off cue, because I think it plays too early. Garfield and Odie just shoot right out. The ghost turns around with a horrified face, but then he turns evil again and starts pursuing them. The three ghosts chase after them. They run all the way to the end of the dock. But when they run to the house, they're on all fours. But when they get to the dock, they're now walking on their hind feet. Well, Garfield and Odie jump into the river, but Garfield forgets he can't swim. He submerges. When he goes under, Odie sees his hat, grabs it, even checks inside the hat and throws it. Then he sees Garfield in the distance, still getting caught in the current. He grabs a small branch, but it breaks. And then Odie, despite the fact that we just saw that Garfield was like a good distance away, Odie swims no more than 3 feet ahead of him, and then goes under and pulls Garfield up. Yeah, I don't understand that part, but it's still good. After that, they get to shore, and Garfield's like, "Oh, you one old buddy." They're now walking along the riverside. Garfield's in depression. He says, "The old man was right. This is the worst night of my life. I've had nightmares of birthday parties compared to this." Until Odie points out the sacks of candy on the rowboat. They didn't realize they got their candy back. So Garfield's like, this story has a happy ending. Let's be shoving off for home now. They're walking in and Garfield goes, "So the pirates got the treasure and we got the candy. At home, Garfield wants to thank Odie for saving him, and he says 18 zillion times for some reason, but he decides to give Odie his sack of candy. Odie slurps him, and Garfield says, "I love you, now get out of here." After that, he's like, "Boy, am I white. I think I see what's on TV." That's when we see the old man on the TV. He's, "Good evening, and welcome to our all-night pirate marathon." Garfield clicks off. And yeah, the old man is also wearing Garfield's hat, and I'm under the impression he must work at that television station, because that's probably why he was eager to leave, because he realized, "Oh wait, I'm late for work." And he found Garfield's hat. I'm assuming he also found his peg leg. But Garfield's like, "Boy, am I tired." He then uses his bag of candy as a blanket, gets Pookie out, and then his hand merges with Pookie's color in a chameleon kind of way. It's an animation goof. After that, we get the end credits showing images of the characters with the pirate song 60 Men Are Lost at Sea. I love this special so much. It's fun. It's great. The songs are good. The story and plot are good. It's perfect the way it is. It's a 4-star masterpiece to me. Every time I see people do their top 10 Halloween specials, I always see it on there. I can't understand how anyone can dislike it. Yeah, this is definitely the greatest Halloween TV special I've ever seen. I will say to the people who made it, thank you so much for giving it to us. I appreciate it. I'm still watching that every year. Well, almost every year. There are times whenever I stupidly not watch it. I'm gonna admit it. There are times when I've not done this. But I did it tonight for its 40th anniversary. So once again, to everybody, thank you so much for making it. And Lorenzo Music, rest in peace. You'll always be the voice of Garfield to me.